Hey, everybody. Welcome to the SOS podcast. Glad to have you here today. So, consumer
it's so nice to be with you.
Oh,
and
I'm so glad to have you here.
I do hi to Hairstylist Inner Circle. I know Bonnie, I think it was last week or the week before, did an awesome marketing class. So if you met, please go and see that because that was an awesome class. You touched on things that I just want to wrap my mind around right now, because you're right. As far as you and I and leverage before COVID, we were doing that. And then we saw this mass scramble in the industry. We saw big industry, big businesses, individual educators, saw people scrambling to try to learn Zoom, online. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. I've been doing salons now for a little over 3 years. And when I started, it were a lot of challenges that were thrown my way. I mean, a lot. So whether it was, connection, whether it was the why tails, and then of course, London, you also have to educate and connect with people like this, which is extremely hard to do. When I was hiring educators for Salon Scholar, the one thing I was looking for was, can you do this? Can you connect with me? Without physically touching somebody, right? Without, we have eye contact, but we're all kind of, there's all kinds of things going on when you're educating digitally. And so all the challenges that were presented to me 3 years ago, I had to immediately figure out a solution to, immediately, because what would happen? I'm party of one at this point. So if I didn't tackle those challenges right away, my business was going to suffer, my client base was going to suffer, and not one new professional was going to care what I had to say, to be honest with you, right? Because they're probably like, okay, this chick doesn't already know what she's teaching and what she knows, and now I can't even connect with her. Now I don't feel a connection. So I think on a very small level, if you will, it's the connection is number one. Connection is number one. And how do my salon owners feel about me? How does the community around me feel about Salon Scholar? And I was shocked. And, I was shocked that I was getting good feedback when I first started, because I thought this industry is going to eat me alive. Like, I'm not gonna do well at this, because it was so new. It was so new. Like, I'm going to come in your salon live, and I'm going to teach your staff.
Will you give us a definition of Salon Scholar? So for those of my listeners that are not even sure what this is, define exactly what that is, so that they can say, that's brilliant, like I did.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So Salon Scholar is training for your new hires, right? It's a digital platform. We leverage technology. We do it live, but there's also a series of videos. The videos that is not the value of Salon Scholar. The value is coming live in our community. So we have a whole community of people. It's a separate Facebook group. It's a way for our community members to not only talk to each other, but also learn together. So if you're a salon owner, you would hire Salon Scholar to train your new professionals that are onboarding onto your staff, simply put.
So in the training piece that you're talking about, it would be everything from some color techniques to doing a flawless bob or long hair. I mean, it's like literally technical education that you're guiding them through.
Yes. Okay. So I like to start off with finishing. Okay. Because most new professionals that are going to be on the floor, we need them to immediately be able to finish out clients. Your salon is busy, right? And so it's unrealistic to think that somebody can wait a year to be on your floor. It's totally unrealistic. It works for barely 0 salons. Okay. And I say barely because there's always that one, and somebody will say London.
For one.
Okay. So I start off with styling. And so we go in depth with that. You know, what does a shampoo look like? What does draping look like? And, you know, how am I using my round brush properly so that not only can I use it today, but 10 years later, I don't have carpal tunnel and I'm actually performing the service correctly. So I do a custom blowout that I'm actually kind of known for, and different finishing techniques so that immediately they can be on the floor finishing out clients for your senior stylist. And then we go into things like texturizing, okay? Breaking down, I have a 3-part texturizing series where we break down, you know, how do I approach the hair? Why am I using this particular tool? You know, and actually understanding it so they're not over there, you know, shredding clients' hair, right? And we've seen it, all right? Like I've been in a salon where I'm like, that person is shredding that poor lady's hair. Okay. So we just want to make sure that we have a basic understanding. And the way that I educate is I never, ever, ever will say, you should have already known that. Why didn't you know that? I never make anybody feel like where they're at in their education path, that they should be further. Okay. I never do that. So, but I'm also not condescending how I teach. I'm very descriptive. And I think you have to be, if you're going to be educating digitally, you have to be extremely descriptive. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have this process and you take a group of people through it, or is it just this one salon, or is it multiple salons that you take with it?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question, because that recently got changed. So before, we would take a group of people and work them all the way through. And over the 3 years, I've tried to cater to as many different styles of salon as possible. And you know, working with salons are very different. Every new hire is different. Every salon owner is different. Like, it's so different in our industry. So now it's not like that. Okay. So you're going to pop in different parts. But we still have your full video series. So let's say that you really want this person to know texturizing. Maybe they've been with you for a year. You really want them to have a very clear understanding of texturizing. Then you can have them go back and view that video until we touch on it again. It could be 3 weeks. It could be
part of it here that we've all kind of lived by expectations that they should either come fully trained and tell, or now we're hiring them out of school, and even school has had some challenges with being able to teach in real life. So even they're going down this digital path to some degree. So there has to be this gap that we're filling, right? And Salon Scholar is kind of filling that gap to say, I need to keep training your people as an education department for your business.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I talked to a salon owner the other day. She was from Texas. Now, I don't know, and you guys can tell me whatever state you're in and if this is affecting you as well. But just what you said was that there are schools that are 100% remote. So these students have been 100% remote for almost a year. You know, I mean, they have never, ever touched a client. And I think that is an added challenge for us. And somebody like myself who is very comfortable, you know, doing digital education, you know, it doesn't have to be me. I'm not saying it, you know, it has to be me, but somebody, you know, find somebody who's already comfortable with that platform, with the technology to be able to train them.
We choose and to be able to know that companies exist that. But you're right, a whole set of challenges that you can, at this point, a lot of there for you, but back up to
great. So they'll get the membership, and this can also be part of teaching or that supports exactly where they want to be. Again, salon here always work. So tons of it used every single day. That's fine. You can't make that recorded. It's in your in your Salon Scholar library. But after class room, so live, we it's time. But when they come class, because it's so I don't book room after. Is this recording now? I don't so that one-on-one with me or whoever comes and they say, hey, I'm still having a little bit of technique we went over, you know, together. So and you don't have to people. I clearly their elbow a way that makes it's going to hurt. And so I'm just time.
So they just have a fair enough you to visually instruct.
Now, most people are studio. I had
they got on a end and then got back in. This is how this continues.
100%. I see that, standing in front of sometimes we have to move.
How many pay to put their bodies in, right? Yeah, that's for your butt to your client,
Well, or work at, every time you pick one, everybody sees it.
That's it. Well, it's really like a fun that, that was a big thing that, somebody in their mask or somebody wasn't every salon could see. Yeah, like there's over there's a bunch over there that doesn't their mind because it's all different things. Well, that's really awesome. I like this trend. You're talking to say, hey, I'll help you get your people in. We okay, great. You feel great stylists, but negativity or the wherewithal or bringing yourself sources to be able to take them through the learning is and more needed than ever because we do manage our resources. Traditionally do the training. She needs to be behind her to be producing
for a salon or senior to done. It really is a lot. This is what I full time, and so and it kind of a little bit of a cushion because even if they're seniors, they go, we'll fall back on Salon Scholar. This literally do. Yeah. Pulling staff and saying let's do this, just train the people coming in and let's do it. I really want after a while. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody's senior stylist, but I've seen it time and time again where somebody will say well, I had somebody that wanted to do the training, but then that kind of fell through, and I get it. That's why Salon Scholar exists.
Yeah, or the intent of developing people, they teach them as a assistant and really provide them truth of training expectations, timelines and expectations of what to go on the floor and start producing their own revenue. And when this process, the more for saloners to be more willing to make more revenue and for more success behind the chair. Right. I think right now, some clients that are trying to learn ISIS, but we've proven that we were only 5 weeks and they're not back on regular, and some are still very concerned. But the truth is, we're here to get constantly and recruiting and training people to fill go somewhere. So we're prepared for any new clients that want to come to us, and that's the philosophy I think that we need to have, and that I think is what Salon Scholar is aiming for as well by helping the newbies to get to that next level.
Well, and you touched on something that's really, really key, and that is there has to be an end in sight. When you hire somebody to your staff, and I don't care if your end in sight is a year, let's just take a year. I don't agree with that, but let's just take a year. Okay. So you have to set that expectation before they even accept the job. You're very candid. They very, very open and honest to me. Will help you, and
you're going to be able to help them to get on the floor working services. Now we do have a year shrunk a little bit under COVID, but it's very strong. Person at it.
Yeah,
but it works. That is exclusively able to do. So have a London in-house. Yeah, well, lucky. Yeah. Most salons don't have a London in-house.
Right. And I agree. Well, the first I worked at, it was a heavy apprenticeship program, but it was a program. Yes, you could people after 4 months
on the floor 1 day a week after a certain period of time, and that kind of expands by achieving specific goals and creating certain amount of work. So it does all work. Well, I think it's fantastic. So how do people get in touch with you to find out more about Salon Scholar?
Yeah, so Hairstylist Inner Circle is a great platform because there's people that are on Hairstylist Inner Circle that are not on Salon Scholar's Facebook page. You can also find me on Salon Scholar's Facebook page. Or you can email me directly. I'm pretty open with how to get in touch with me. So you can london.curtis@salonscholar.com. That's my email.
Perfect.
I'm all over. I pop all over,
Find her on Facebook, find her on Instagram, message her. She responds quickly. I know that for sure. Go to salonscholar.com, right here where we're at Hairstylist Inner Circle. All of those places are great resources to be able to find you. And let's spend more time training them, because here's these quotes I wish I was going to share with you earlier. What if we train them and they leave? And then of course the other part of it is what if we don't and they stay? And right now we can't afford to have any dead weight in our businesses. Okay, we got to be running lean and mean and make sure that everybody is doing what they need to do in order to provide that that service and to provide that safety that we're all trained to do. But I like Richard Branson's approach to it as well, and that he said in 2014, he says, train people well enough so they can leave. Okay, because our industry is famous for this, right? Treat them well enough so they don't want to. Mm-hmm. So when you create and have that opportunity for people to be treated well, and you're giving them those resources to grow a business and to sustain themselves and to make a living, a decent living, then you've got a solid business. And right now we need to be working on all of our systems in order to create that strong foundation for a solid business. And I believe that Salon Scholar is one of those great resources to be able to do that. So as London and I were sharing a little earlier too, we talked about it, like we're all getting better at digital education, digital marketing, but don't stop there, you guys. Look at the resources that are out there and figure out how you can have your education director in a box, literally in a box, because right now London's in a box.
In a box. Yes, I am.
In a box as part of your business and as part of your long-term strategy to be able to train people. Because I think we need to think digital education in order to kind of bring people to that next level. We could say there's all kinds of free stuff out there, but the truth is, you want something that's more structured and more designed to be able to help build confidence and skill set, not just teach skill set. Mm-hmm. You don't want something that's overly advanced maybe and having these expectations that they can, do a Vivian McKinder cut after one viewing.
Yeah. Well, and it comes back to the connection too. There is a lot of free education. There is. It's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot. But there's nothing like actually connecting and feeling like you're part of a community. There's nothing like it.
Yes, there's the safety in it right there. And I think that any of our newbies that are coming out of school at this point, having been cheated a little bit by some in real life education, I think this is that next level for them. So you've really filled a good gap there, London. So thanks for being on the SOS Small Business Coaching and Podcast Program.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Yeah, I mean,
I love saying your name.
Yeah, this is such a strategy for success, you guys. This is what's going to save you if you are hiring new people, but you don't have the capacity to train them. And it sounds like it's a pretty reasonable system to invest in. And as London said, invest in your people. Invest in your people. Don't let that be the first thing that goes. Look for other ways to save money. And you know what? If you continue to listen to my podcast over time, you'll hear tens of thousands of money savings ideas and revenue building generating ideas as well as part of this podcast. So join me next week because we're going to be talking about marketing, and that's going to be a great way for you to understand even more money generating ideas to be able to get more business into your salon. All right, London, they can find you at salonscholar.com or london.curtis@salonscholar.com if you want to email her or find her on social media and touch base with her, you guys, and make this happen so that you can succeed. All right, thanks for joining me today, guys, and we'll see you next week.